Let's go ahead and take a look at the maps overview for a moment. You can see here that we're in the live environments section. We want to go ahead and go over to the configuration environment. We're going to choose our server, which in this case is test 1. And then you can see here the different pieces here. So we've got video channels, I/O devices, and maps. If we go underneath the maps, you'll see several different projects. I have St. Louis, a couple ones from Canada. We're going to go ahead and right click on maps, and we're going to go ahead here and add project. In this case, we're going to put office test and proceed. And then underneath this particular project that you see down there at the bottom, we can right click and add map. And here we can actually put in, we'll put 3D office. And hit proceed. Now underneath that project of office test, you should be able to see now the 3D office. If I click on that 3D office, over on the right hand side I have a blank screen. If I right click on this, I can actually add in my background. This is the picture of the map that I'm using, and in this case we go to my pictures and then we'll see a 3D office JPEG and add that in. Now the picture itself is larger than the size that I have for my screen, so I can scroll left and right, up and down, and when I actually look at my map it will fill out the whole screen. Now that we've added in the map, over on the left hand side we can see the list of servers. We're going to go ahead and start adding in cameras. We're going to choose the demo server here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull over a camera into the map, and you'll see here that there is a camera icon that shows up and a red pie down at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and show you the icons. If I click over here on those little triangle, and I can select the different device icons. There are several different types. In this case it's actually going to be a dome type camera. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the dome camera icon and click OK. I can make this a little bit smaller so it fits the screen a little bit better. Put it in place. If I click on the actual icon, I can go to device properties, and up here I have a lot of the same information. So I can go into the icons, I can change that just like I saw before, but I can also change the name of this particular camera in here so I can better recognize it on the map. In this case I'll keep the same camera nomenclature, but I'll put in what type of camera, so it's a 5 megapixel. And I'm going to make it bold, and we'll put it in blue so we can see it a little bit better. Hit OK. Up here on the type, it's in a pie formation right now. I can make this a rectangle, polygon, diamond, eclipse type. These are all for different types of cameras, or even for some I/O type devices. I can also choose a plugin, so if I have a violated area that's associated to this particular camera, I can choose violated area, and then in the plugin area, if I have multiple zones, I can actually create that here as well and associate those different zones to this particular camera. The fill color is the color of what I want the field of view to be. In this case I'm going to change it to blue and hit OK. You can see here it changed that fill color to blue. Now if I go up to the top section here where that little green button is, I can rotate this around in many different directions. I'm going to go ahead and put it here pointing down this hallway. Put it back into place, and then I'm going to go ahead and extend this out all the way down the aisleway here, so you can change the shape this way. Move it into place where it should be. There we go. If I click on this little green dot over here, and then I move it around, I actually have the ability to change the overall shape. If I make this into a pan tilt zoom camera, this would allow me to be able to create an entire circle here. But then in this case, when I'm looking at down an area, down a hallway, I can actually point out what that field of view actually is. Now down here at the bottom you can see where there's the name that we put on there, and I can move that into place so I can show exactly what kind of camera or which camera that I'm viewing here in this spot. We can also add in input-output devices. In this case we have one that's a physical input-output, an Ethernet. In this case it's a beacon, so I'm going to pull this over and put this in place. And you can see here I have a completely different type of icon. Again, if I go over and select the different icons, On my I/O devices, I have lots of different kinds for access control. In this case, we have a beacon, so I'm going to choose the light, hit OK. This allows me to be able to turn my light on and off from my system. We'll get this a little bit smaller and put it in place. So we'll go ahead and click over here to the text box so that I can make that change here as well. Make it a little bit easier to see. We'll make it say beacon. We'll put that in bold. And then we'll also make this a little brighter, so we'll put this in red and hit OK. I can disassociate that name and put it up into a smaller format and put it up so that we can read it a little bit better next to the actual input-output device. Now that we've put this in place, back over here on the left-hand side, we can actually take a look at additional maps. We can associate other maps with this particular map so that I can go from one map to another. Let's go ahead and associate an exterior map. Let's do the St. Louis overview here. And I'll click and drag that over to my map, and I can make this a little bit smaller. And again, same type of connections here. I can actually change my my name, place, and then I can change the text box properties. Make that bold, and I can even choose a different color here to make it a little bit brighter and easier to see. Now when I go back into my live view, I can actually see this particular map. I'll go ahead and scroll down to this 3D office and put it over into my live viewing grid. From here I can actually see my cameras that I have on this map. Make it a little bit larger. I can get rid of that live events view at the bottom. If I hover over that camera, it actually gives me the camera view, and it shows me down a hallway here. I can see what's going on. You can see I have that little red beacon in the back. If I turn that on from the map, you can see how it is turned on in the video itself, and I can turn that off from here. This will also work for any other type of I/O device. If you go back up to the left-hand side up here, where it says St. Louis Overview, and if you actually double-click on that icon, it'll take you to the St. Louis Overview map. Now on this map, you'll see that we have several different other icons on here for other maps that you can link yourself to. Arteco headquarters, Hydromat, and Woodmark map. And we can see here on this view that our 3D office icon is on there. If we double click, it takes us back to our map that we can see. Over on the left hand side, we can see various different kinds of maps and its associations that there are. So let's go ahead and take a look in this various project at the campus. If I double click here, you'll see on this map where I have everything from fire alarms to irrigation systems. We can actually also put in, you'll see a fountain manager right there. This is a link to an outside source through a web link. This allows us to be able to control everything from the maps themselves. This includes license plate recognition cameras. Let's go ahead and take a look at another camera system, or another map system over here on the left hand side. We'll pull that and drag it in here. Here on this map we have a mixture of everything from microwave barriers to fence protection systems, even our cameras, all associated onto one map overview of the prison here.